We're talking about a landslide, like a massive earth movement that started in mid-January 2026 and simply won't stop growing. And look, when I say it won't stop, it's because literally every day new images emerge of entire buildings collapsing, cars falling into the precipice, and more than 1,600 people having to abandon their homes without knowing if they'll ever be able to return. Let me explain what's happening there, because this story has twists that will leave you amazed. It started relatively discreetly on January 16th. It was like, you know that crack you see in the wall and think, I'll fix it later. Except in this case, it was the actual ground cracking. Residents of the western part of the city started noticing that the soil was giving way, forming a landslide approximately 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, in length. It was already serious, you see. About 35 people had to leave their homes at that moment. But then comes the plot twist nobody expected. On January 25th, just 9 days later, the Earth decided it was going to show its true power. Around 1 p.m. local time, a much more massive movement began in the southern part of the city, hitting the neighborhoods of Santa Croce and Trepetto. And man, when I first saw the numbers, I had to check twice because it seemed unreal. The landslide that was 1 mile jumped to 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers across, 2.5 miles. And you know what makes this even more dramatic? The scarps, which are like giant steps that the Earth forms as it descends, started at about 20 to 23 feet, 6 to 7 meters high, like the height of a 2-story building. Already scary, right? But in the following weeks, these scarps grew to more than 164 feet, 50 meters. 164 feet, people. It's like you stacked 15 floors of a building vertically on the edge of the precipice. And every day, new videos emerge of entire chunks of these walls simply collapsing. There's a video that went viral captured by drone on February 1st that shows in real time a huge piece of land simply releasing and falling. It's chilling when you think there were houses there, families living there until just days before. Now, let me tell you about a symbol that ended up representing this entire tragedy. There was a car, a blue 2002 Ford Fiesta, that was literally suspended on the edge of the precipice. The owner couldn't even retrieve the documents that were inside because it was too dangerous to get close. He even tried to cancel the insurance, but imagine the bureaucracy. Sir, we need the vehicle documents. But the documents are inside the car that's hanging on a 164-foot, 50-meter precipice. This car became a headline in all Italian newspapers, everyone sharing photos of that Fiesta there, defying gravity. For days it stayed there, like a visual reminder of how fragile the situation is, until on February 3rd, inevitably, the car fell. And look, when I read that it had fallen, it was like the end of a symbolic era, you know? Because while it was there was an almost irrational hope that maybe, just maybe, things would stabilize. But when it fell, it became clear this isn't going to stop anytime soon. And there's another cultural symbol that's literally on the edge of the abyss now, the Angelo Marsiano Private Library. This library holds more than 4,000 volumes on Sicilian history. They're rare books, historical documents, the memory of generations from the region, and it's teetering on the edge of the landslide. Imagine losing not just houses and streets, but literally the documented history of an entire region. The latest reports show there have already been collapses very close to the library building. Each passing day is a race against time to try to save at least part of this collection, but access is extremely dangerous. The Italian firefighters, the Vigili del Fuoco, are doing heroic work, but there are areas that simply cannot be entered. In the first 164 feet, 50 meters, from the edge of the landslide, not even rescue professionals can reach safely. Speaking of official numbers, because it's important we understand the scale of all this. According to the latest data from Italian Civil Protection, released in early February, there are 1,606 displaced people. This means 1,606 lives were completely turned upside down in a matter of days. 891 buildings are in the so-called red zone, which is the interdicted area where no one can enter. Of these, 201 buildings are less than 164 feet, 50 meters, from the edge of the landslide and will probably never be habitable again. The City Hall is working with the concept of permanent uninhabitability for these constructions. And look, there's a cruel detail in all this. About 100 of these buildings had already been evacuated after a previous landslide that happened in 1997, 29 years ago. They were constructions that should have been demolished because they were irregular, illegal according to Italian law. The funding to demolish these houses, 4 million euros, was only approved on December 20th, 2025, 1 month before the current landslide. The machinery didn't even start the work. Now let's get to the science behind this, because understanding why is fundamental. The Niscemi region is built on what geologists call Pliocene clays. These are clays that were deposited millions of years ago, between 5.3 and 2.6 million years ago to be more precise, during the Pliocene period. These clays have a characteristic that makes them particularly dangerous. When they absorb water, they lose mechanical resistance drastically. Geotechnical studies show that these clays can lose between 50 and 70% of their weight-bearing capacity when they become saturated. It's like you built a house on top of a dry sponge, which seems firm, but then it rains and that sponge softens completely. Except we're talking about a sponge the size of an entire city. And then enters the villain of this story, or rather the trigger, Cyclone Harry. Between January 18th and 21st of 2026, this Mediterranean cyclone dumped absurd quantities of rain over Sicily, Calabria, and Sardinia. We're talking about hundreds of millimeters of water in just 48 to 72 hours. To give you an idea, normally Niscemi receives this over weeks or even months. All this water infiltrated the clay soil and did exactly what scientists feared. It increased the interstitial pressure, which is basically the water pressure between soil particles, and transformed entire layers of earth into something like paste. And when you have a sloped area, as is the case with Niscemi, which is on hills, this paste simply slides. Professor, let me see the correct name here. The head of the Civil Protection Department, Fabio Siciliano, who personally went to inspect the area, declared something that impressed me. The landslide is still in motion, although the speed is decreasing. This was said in early February, that is, almost 2 weeks after the main event. The Earth is still moving, slowly, but still moving. They installed GNSS sensors, which is like super precise GPS, to measure movements in real time. And man, seeing those graphs showing that the ground is descending millimeters per hour is disturbing. Because you know that each millimeter means more structures are being compromised, more cracks appearing, more risk. The Italian government has already declared a national state of emergency and allocated 100 million euros for weather emergencies in Sicily, Calabria, and Sardinia. Of this total, a portion goes to Niscemi. The Sicilian region announced 13 million euros specifically to help the displaced people of Niscemi buy new homes, 8 million in 2026 and 5 million in 2027. But so, what's the future for these people? Well, here enter complex questions. The government is talking about permanent relocation, which is basically saying you won't be able to return, we'll have to rebuild elsewhere. There are proposals to create a kind of new neighborhood on the outskirts of Caltagirone, which is another city in the province. There's even an area being considered where ruins of Mussolini exist, a garden city that was designed during fascism but was never completed. The irony of history, an abandoned project from the past serving as a location to rebuild the future of those who lost everything. The mayor of Gela, a neighboring city, offered areas in the plains of his territory. But imagine having to leave the city where you were born, where your parents were born, where your family has lived for generations, because literally the ground collapsed.